they sell our information to advertisers who then advertise things to us, and these social media platforms make a lot of money. So in actual sense, social media isn't a tool, but it is a weapon designed against us. Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of the Self-Taught Novice with myself, that's your Bain, Silas Bimpon, and Maxwell Dankwa. And Maxwell traveled, so he's currently unavailable, but unfortunately we have the oracle himself, Silas Bimpon.
Funny how today you didn't use the bosom introduction. I think that's a good step.
No, you know oracle is the English, is the English name of bosom, right?
No, but I don't know. The literal translation of things from English to G sound heavier. I don't know if heavy is the right description.
More
it just sounds, yeah. So, yeah, by the oracle, at least it's a step down for you guys.
Wow, you use a step in the right direction. Anyway. So unfortunately last week we missed a recording. Because of a couple of things. Life happened, exactly, and we are very lazy people. No, let me speak for myself. I'm a very lazy person. So that's also an excuse. Me, I've admitted I'm lazy.
I think family and then I think schedules, because I think not exactly communicating or properly understanding some things. Because I think you called and then I called back. I don't know.
Did you call me back? Because till today I haven't seen a missed call from Silas.
I have, and not that is with you in particular, but then it's a problem I've seen with some of my contacts as well. There's probably something, I don't know if I should probably get a new SIM or something to see if that was so there, but yeah. So that's my excuse. I think the listeners part is also.
Okay, so unfortunately Maxwell traveled, so he couldn't join us. So that's Maxwell's excuse. Anyway, so it's been a really busy week. So much has happened, and so many things. And on Friday I wanted us to do a live podcast of the Apple event, but unfortunately I had a eureka moment late, and Salas too it looks like Salas too was busy, so we couldn't really get that rolling. But then we'll discuss quite a number of things that happened during the Apple event, and also to a lot of things are happening locally. MTN, the government has reduced the tax, the communication tax, is it from 9% to 5%? And apparently MTN also has some tax havens in, is it Netherlands or Switzerland or something? Are the tax havens, where are they normally?
Yeah, they're in Europe. I don't remember exactly.
There's a popular country. Yeah.
I don't exactly remember.
And also to a new Netflix documentary, it's not really a docu-series, came out, Social Dilemma, which talks about how social media platforms are designed to be addictive, and not necessarily as tools, but as weapons to make their owners, or to make those platforms a lot of money from advertisers. And also to Amazon has a lot of fake products on their platform. I don't know how possible this is, because unlike
that's
eBay,
a very interesting take.
Yeah, unlike eBay, they keep inventory local. They keep their own inventory, so it shouldn't. This issue shouldn't pop up. But then we'll discuss the possible causes, and also to there are fake reviews. People are being paid to make reviews on products, and also to, as I mentioned, we will look at the Apple event and Oracle. 15th September occurred. 15th September came, and the official buyer or partner for TikTok was announced. So luckily, they escaped Trump's wrath. Hooray! So we'll look into that. But sir, how's your week been? The usual check-ins.
So yeah, this week I think there's been raining a lot on my end, so there's been a lot of try to say power cuts and
Oh
slow
Charlie,
internet. Yeah,
Charlie, this podcast today the power cut a little bit.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the rain or I don't know, but
I
I've
think
been
it's this
experiencing a
season.
lot.
I don't know. I think it's this season because every year around July, August, September, there are quite a number of power cuts. Yes,
Yeah,
I have noticed that.
but I don't get why like the rain should actually. I mean, it's 2020, and you can't tell me that anytime it rains, you I turn off my power.
Well,
That shouldn't be like a
that
thing
shouldn't
in
be the
20.
case. Yeah,
Yeah.
that true though.
Oh.
Anyway,
And also slow internet. That one I also don't exactly understand whether.
but my internet has surprisingly been fast though. I remember when I was uploading to iOS 14, the 2.2 gig update for the iPad. In like 15 minutes, the thing told me that I was ready to install. I was shocked.
Hey,
I
okay, probably
bro,
because I could me
I
for the
was
good 1 year.
shocked. Hey, I was like, I don't like. I was like, wait, maybe
Wait,
if
did
I
you check
try small.
your internet speed or
No,
you didn't?
I don't check my. Sometimes it's stressful, sometimes it's not. So I just use it as a gives. So I barely check my internet speed because I wasn't thinking that maybe it was an error, but then the thing installed. I was like, wow, interesting. Anyway,
I mean, Table Nets are actually fast too.
exactly. I don't use a turbonet.
No, I don't use a
You
Table
use a
Nets.
regular
So,
4G.
yeah, I use a regular router. I actually have a SIM card in a router that like routes internet for like my part of the house. So,
You're
I
part of the
could,
house. That's cute.
yes, at least I've had this discussion with my parents, like, so they gave me a part of the house. So that's where I will create.
Hey, I wish I had a part of the house. Anyway, but
You can
it
always
would
have
be nice.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Anyways, let's dive in.
yeah, let's dive in. So let's start with MTN. So apparently MTN uses Netherlands as a tax haven to escape tax bills in Africa. So and it's not just MTN Ghana. It's not just MTN Ghana. MTN has a conglomerate. Hey, it didn't hear them conglomerate. Hey,
Conglomerate.
sir. So according to taxjustice.net, it says that Ghana could miss out on as much as 400 million in capital gains tax following the sale earlier this year of MTN's investment in a mobile phone tower business in the
Wait,
country.
200 million Ghana cedis or dollars.
A 400 million Ghana cedis in tax.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Just within 2020.
Yeah.
MTN makes a lot. MTN definitely makes a lot from mobile money
I
to.
don't know why they pay us peanuts and dividends. MTN. We believe in your company and invested in you. My 3 cities I put in the company.
What's the current value of one share?
It has dropped. The last time I checked, that was like 2 months ago. I think we bought it at 70 pesos. Now it's at 50 pesos or so.
Hey.
It's sad, MTN. After I invested my 3 cities into your company, you are giving me peanuts as dividends, and your share price is dropping, but then you keep expanding and you keep getting a lot of customers to the extent that the government is afraid of your monopoly. So how is this even possible?
My dear, that 3 C's doesn't really, excuse me to say, doesn't really count for much. Like,
Hey, do you know how I worked hard for the 3 cities?
But the NCA from I think last year, that's like 2019. So apparently, this article I'm reading that says last year by businessghana.com says last year MTN paid a total of 1.48 billion in taxes, out of which 1.3 billion went to
Is this to the government?
Yeah, to the government. That was
Hey,
last year.
let me Google how to spend government tax money.
Why would you?
Hey, that's just from just MTN Oberian.
Yeah, that's a lot. And this
That's
year they're missing out on around like 400 million, which is very
that's a
interesting.
huge amount. That's like 40%.
Yeah, that's almost 40% of the
Mm.
total amount. But aside using how are they able to like orchestrate using like a European country as a tax haven?
I
Like
think
in order to
the
reduce.
sale, maybe they sold to a partner there. So according to a
But
newspaper, MTN had 49% shareholding in a Dutch joint venture company, which ultimately owns the towers, and it sold its stake in this Dutch company instead of selling the towers themselves. You understand?
oh,
So that's
oh
a
okay.
smart.
And that's a smart. I mean,
Yeah. So
it's almost literally like
MTN still owns the towers. They still use the towers, but the company's stake has been sold to Dutch. So that means the company now operates the shares of the company operate from the Dutch plate. Hey, what am I
serious.
saying? From Europe. Uh-huh. So meaning basically all they've done is that they've changed the owners of the company. So the company is now a Dutch company because of the percentage ownership, meaning
Yeah.
tax and everything will be routed through Europe instead of routing through Africa.
It's almost like eating your cake, eating your cake and having it.
Exactly. Exactly. But even it's
But
smart.
is making a lot because if you look at these figures too, also from Business Ghana,
Mm-hmm.
so within the same period, that was like 2019, MTN made a total revenue of 4.2 billion Ghana cedis as of
Oh.
last year. And according to the same article from Business Ghana, this actually increased by 23.5% over last year, so which was like 3.4 billion. So in 2018, MTN made 3.4 billion, and then 2019, MTN made 4.2 billion. And I mean, given how COVID has made everyone go digital and all that,
Mm-hmm.
where like people are buying bundle here and there, I think TurboNet is actually inserted in the market right now.
Mm.
So I'm obviously expecting their revenue to probably increase like 5 billion
In the
Ghana
last 1
cedis.
year, my 1,000 cities there, they've spent some. My 1,000 cities there.
Hey, Charlie. I mean, like this past 6 months, I think I've spent, yeah, I've definitely spent close to like 1,000 Cs on data packages, like since
Hey.
lockdown went
Hmm.
into full force.
Oh, here and you. Yes. Oh, here and yeah. Hmm.
But it's interesting to note how they sort of monopolized, like, should I say, the mobile money market and then
Mm-hmm,
sort of the
mm-hmm.
data and ISP market as well. I mean,
No,
do you have
it's
any thoughts
basic.
on how
It's
they've
basic.
orchestrated it?
It's basic. Be the best. Get the best technology. Give the people what they want, and then actual and get your revenue from them. All they did is that they brought 4G first. They improved it, made it better. I think they laid the undersea cable. You remember that huge investment they made with the undersea
Yeah,
cable that they did. It meant that they can bring fiber broadband at a very cheap cost, and that's the cost that's transferred to the turbo net. That's how you can actually get side speeds at a very low cost, because currently I'm paying less than 1 cedi for a gig effectively with the
yeah,
amount I pay for this thing and my turbo net. I pay less than 1 cedi per gig. But then if you look at other some of their competitors, or even if you look at their regular 4G bundles, you realize that 1 gig is like 3 cedis or 4 cedis. So
yeah.
you see that.
That's
So
true.
just all they did was to invest in the latest and the best equipment, and also to mobile money. Or they tapped into the fabric of our informal sector. So all they did was to what's the name was to see how the informal sector works, and how the fact that were not really banks were not really serving these people because
Yeah,
of
they call it banking their own bank.
I've been Stanbic has been championing that thing for a while. So banking the unbanked. So all these unbanked people, they've had some issues in the past with respect to taxes, with respect to identification, and fraud and all those things. So using their mobile phones was the easiest bet because the NCA had already authorized everyone to register their SIM cards. So they were able to what's the for lack of a better word, run on
Or
the wave,
leverage that to like.
leverage that to their advantage, exactly, and that's how they are winning the market. And I mean,
I think
they
MTN really made smart investments with that, and
yeah,
it was
even with
interesting to note that.
advertisements and even with their corporate social responsibility and their brand image and all that. So I mean, it was definite that they would actually be at the top of these things.
Yeah. Well, one interesting thing for me there was um, when MTN introduced 4G. I think Vodafone around that time still had 3.5G, and then they moved to 3.7G. And then when Vodafone moved to 4G, that's when
MTN is now at
MTN
4.5 or
introduced,
something, right?
yeah, 4.5G. I was like, how? So it's almost like they're trying to always stay ahead of the competition in
Mm-hmm.
everything. And I feel like being a Ghanaian company. Okay, MTN is not exactly a Ghanaian company, but I feel like locally in terms of product innovation in Ghana, I think they are number one on my list
Oh yeah,
because
definitely.
given the way they're able to leverage, even especially in the financial sector, where right now people are able to like get access to loans within like 2 minutes through MTN Quick Loan. I think they have another one too
That quickly,
called
they are for
Express
study
Loan.
collect someone. When I'm unemployed, so
I don't know their interest rate, but I think they are.
I heard it's
I don't
high.
know how their interest rate. I don't think it's that high, because given
It's
the
not
way
unreasonably
people,
high though.
yeah, because I think lots of people actually patronize it. Because on Twitter, I've been seeing people complaining about Express Loan, sending them alerts as to like them paying their loans and all that. So MTN is really innovative, and also like uh, partnering with banks like Fidelity Bank and Stanbic Bank to like have uh, financial packages for people on mobile money, like pension plans, investment plans, treasury bills, and all that. So it sort of makes sense that like they're making so much. But then the mere fact that they're able to escape over 400 or like 400 million Ghana cedis, that's a lot of tax. Yeah, they're just.
That's a lot, man.
Would you call that fraud?
Technically, no. In business terms, no. It's actually a very smart way of. Maybe I might do some in future crash. So let me not talk against it. Then someone will after 10 years come and what spread a clip of me talking against tax havens and saying that hey, I'm quite a hypocrite. So anyway.
I mean, everyone. I feel like should I blame as a society we sort of dwell in this capitalist um venture where like people like sort of based on their market share they have to capitalize on that to actually rake in more and then drain or run our pockets dry, should I say? Because for example, even though um mobile money charge on MTN is actually expensive, it's like 1%, but the mobile money market share that MTN has in Ghana, I should assume it should be around 40 to 50% of the total share as compared to players like Vodafone and Airtel Tigo. Because I think due to the competition, Vodafone recently introduced free 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 transfers from
Transfer to from one network to the other.
yeah. I don't know. Have you patronized it? Does it work?
I barely use my Vodafone cash because of the fact that they don't really have a lot of merchants, and you can only access it through their Vodafone shops. So it makes it very inconvenient. I use just MTN mobile money now mostly, But then
Yeah.
the good thing about a lot of people complain that that's why there's a lot of fraud. But the good thing about it is that my MTN mobile money phone is always off. So I feel sad for those who have been stealing my numbers because it's
Yeah,
only
I mean,
on when I need to
I've
make a
experienced that
transaction.
myself, where like I get spam calls and then spam texts, and they don't even have the courtesy to actually like spell out correctly like
Assemble.
the text message. Like the vocabulary is so bad. Like, I mean, if you are trying to fraud, at least do it the right way.
Yeah,
But I feel
yeah.
like MTN is not doing enough to like actually counter fraudulent activities from their network
Do you
to the
think they
extent that like
can? Because if we look at the business model of the business, not really the business model, customer acquisition model, they work through agents, and these agents are the middlemen, and these agents
Mhm.
are they have the responsibility of guarding the books or the numbers they take, and MTN can't control how the bookkeeping is made. Do you understand it? This boy just pick numbers from these MTN mobile money agents. So the number that you write there as a sending or
Yeah,
recipient
but
contact, they
shouldn't they
just
regulate who how like these middlemen sort of like release customers data, because that's basically customer data given out.
Vodafone has managed to regulate it by making sure that they reduce the number of agents they have, and I'm very sure they vet third party agents who are not Vodafone customer care or customer service agents. So that has what's the name, and that has increased the security bit of it, but then it has reduced the ability of a lot of customers to use their devices. To use their platform to send and receive money. To the extent that
Yeah, I
myself,
mean,
I used to use Vodafone Cash first a lot, but then
yeah, I
after
remember.
after I left school, so actually right now I even use my Stanbic account.
Yeah,
So you see, it makes that account can see me empty. It makes it makes life relatively easier. But then I guess maybe they know what they are doing. But I'm sure MTN after some time, they'll be able to figure out a solution that will help us. Then you
for
were
sure.
mentioning earlier that Amazon has a lot of fake products, and I don't really understand how this is possible.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw the news, it was really surprising to me because, like, as I compared to other e-commerce platforms, Amazon
Mm-hmm.
actually keeps inventory of like, should I say, 95 or
A
99%
huge,
of.
a huge amount, and the ones that they don't even take inventory, they bring it in for vetting before it's sent out. Also, so I heard.
Yeah, exactly. But apparently, people have actually been. I don't know how they've hung the hack. So you're basically putting up products like as a third party vendor. So probably a seller
Mm-hmm.
like a cup or a battery cell or something, but not exactly getting approval from Amazon, and then actually attaching fake reviews to it. Because Amazon's the way Amazon recommends product to people is also like based on the recommendation and reviews a product gets. It means that it speaks to the quality, um, it speaks to how good a product is. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously within like their homepage or something, if you search for a particular thing, to spit out those results.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, people are actually utilizing that to like send to actually sell fake products as well. Because an example is someone sold apparently fake sneakers to someone on Amazon. Apparently, it was from China,
It's that kind of way.
and I think that the customer realized it from the stitching on on the sneaker because like
Mm-hmm.
quality
It
sneakers have
wasn't
like
perfect. Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't perfect. So it was pretty obvious that like it was fake. But going to the site and seeing the reviews there, it just didn't feel right. That's like how people were like actually giving good recommendations and all that. But Amazon has actually started working on it and has deleted so far. I think they said about 20,000 reviews or something like that after realizing that like people have been posting fake reviews. But funny thing is that they're also getting hard to actually spot, which I don't exactly know how.
I know. I'm coming. Do they pay people to do the reviews, or these are bots that are actually making the reviews?
I mean, you can never really tell whether it's
Because I know
because if
this problem is not on AliExpress, because one, we already know it's from China, and two, they encourage you to
wow,
post a picture. So whenever I'm purchasing something, I post. When I'm checking the reviews as part of my due diligence, I check the reviews. Then I don't go to the text part. I go straight to the images. Want to give me
yeah,
a fair idea how the image looks in real life, because it gives you context with respect to the size, the build quality, and everything when you see it in the hands or when you see it in the picture from a third party without all the fancy lighting and all that. And also it helps me know what people actually feel about the product, because some reviews are positive, some reviews are negative, but some negative reviews
mm,
are just what's the name, are just people being salty or being trivial about certain things, because you can't buy something for $3 and expect it to work like something that's $50, that kind of thing.
yeah. But honestly, when you present a product in a particular manner, you sort of have some level of expectation, regardless of the price tag on it. Because um if you are buying a device or a gadget for like
Mm-hmm.
way below its price, depends on how it's been presented on the site. You sort of have like some assumption of authenticity in regards to the product. So
Mm-hmm.
in a way, you expect it to be at least okay. Even if it's fake, the thing should work. But then there are scenarios where these things don't actually work, and that's quite alarming. And apparently for Amazon, like given given like the huge catalog they have, they actually employ machine learning tools and actually have investigators to like go through their products. So I think they have they have over I think they analyze over 10 million review submissions weekly to stop
Wow.
like abusive reviews even before they are published. So before any review goes to, they actually like before any review is published on their website, they actually review all those submissions. But still, those are actually becoming very difficult to find. And
Mm.
so similar to the way I don't know if you heard about Facebook groups where like they actually like solicit like people to actually they sort of solicit Facebook groups as a means of providing fake reviews for these products as well.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And also people are also utilizing bots and all that. I think Facebook is also trying to like review all the groups on this network in order to combat things that are happening
Facebook,
on Amazon as well.
the platform, they've designed there. I just
Yeah, I
speaking
just say to
speaking of Facebook, there's a Netflix documentary called Social Dilemma, and it's, well, for me, I've known this for a very long time. The fact that we as users are the products, not necessarily the products. Yeah, we are the products of these social media companies, and this is because they sell our information to advertisers who then advertise things to us, and these social media platforms make a lot of money. So in actual sense, social media isn't a tool, but it is a weapon designed against us by making us more addicted to these platforms to make these platform owners a lot of money. I don't know if that makes sense. Like for example, they gave this analogy that if social media was a tool, it's like, and they give the analogy with a bicycle. A bicycle is a tool, but when a bicycle was released, no one was against a bicycle, saying that, oh, a bicycle is going to destroy society, a bicycle is going to destroy transportation and cars, because a bicycle is a tool that was designed to help us. But look at social media. Everybody is complaining that social media isn't necessarily a tool to connect us, but it's a weapon designed to make us more addictive and make us and change our perception to the extent that social media companies have so much data points on us users that they can easily manipulate our reality. And I, I feel I'm trivializing the entire situation. So I entreat everyone to just watch the documentary to get a better picture of what I'm saying, because it's crazy how these social media platforms can show you exactly what you are thinking based on your previous what's the name activities on these platforms. Take a for example, Facebook. You can actually go down a rabbit hole of Facebook videos from just clicking one random video you like. Why is that the case? It's because they are able to recommend something you may like, and this is not necessarily bad, but then it's bad when these systems are weaponized to what to make these platforms a lot of money. And another analogy, another school of thought is saying that I've lost my train of thought though. But another
I mean,
yes,
you're in a serious flow right there. I don't
I
get how
know,
you all
right?
of a sudden you just lost.
I was just oh, another school of thought is that these platforms, uh-huh, and another school of thought was saying that, but then these algorithms are objective. But one thing you know about if you code and if you write, if you work with machines, you don't design machines to be objective. You design machines to do exactly what you want it to do. So these algorithms are designed specifically for a particular purpose, not necessarily to just be objective about okay, this is how Kwame Atta is going to use the platform. So maybe let's just show him this. But then designed that okay, Kwame Atta is going to do this particular thing. So let's show him this, that, so that he remains on the platform. That's why, and also to because you keep using this platform, it has so much data set to the extent that it can even predict your mood and show you specific things. And it mentioned something the fact that you may think that some people are so stupid. Like in Craig's episode, we're talking about Alex Jones. Alex Jones is so polarizing. And for me, I'm able to digest content from Alex Jones and choose what I want and what I don't want, because I know who I'm speaking to. I know who I'm watching or listening to, and I'm able to understand what he's doing, he's saying, and decipher the relevant and irrelevant things. But there are some people who do not have the ability to do that. One, because of their lack of some level of education and some level of I wouldn't say thinking, but then some level of not being able to, I wouldn't say thinking, decipher wrong from right or accurate information from fake news. And social media is able to what's the name? It's able to notice this and show them a lot of videos or a lot of clips that will keep them in that loop of not believing. And typical example is Pizzagate, where people said that whenever you order a pizza, it means that you are paying for a traffic child. It makes no logical sense to the extent that someone wanted to even go and shoot up a pizza place to release the children from a basement that doesn't exist, because a pizza place doesn't even have a basement. So you realize that all these things, and so, not like social media shows us an objective. Like for example, Silas, let's do a quick test. Go to google.com and type how old is, and let's see what the options are. My first option is how old is Nana Brown? The answer is 47 years. The second
I was going to say
how old is Shatawale? The second is another thing is how old is Regina Daniels? Are you getting the same thing?
Yeah, I'm getting Regina Daniels. How old is Shatawale? How old is Sarkodie? Okay. How old is Ghana? How old is Thiago Alcantara? So some football.
And type when is, and let's see what you get.
So I'm seeing when is YC 2020 starting? When is school reopening in Ghana? When is school resuming in Ghana? Day 2020 starting, La Liga, Father's Day, Ghana Airport opening and all that.
Okay, so I'm going to do something. I'm going to google.co.uk. And now how old is? Okay, so this is a wrong analogy though. But then I told you.
I think it still has like your location.
Ghana.
So
Yes, I think let me change my location.
And you have some VPN or something.
Okay, I think no, I don't have a VPN. Do you have a VPN?
No, I don't.
Alright, so I think it depends on your location. So if your location is different, it shows you something different. And even well, let's also try something. How old is? Just click enter. How old is? And let's see what your search options are.
I'm seeing how old do I look, age calculator, and all that. How old is the world? How old is old? How old is Earth? Hey, I'm seeing how old is SpongeBob.
So you see your search. Your search is quite different from mine, or is the same?
Yeah, I mean it's quite different. I mean the SpongeBob part, I think I sort of understand because my brother. Sometimes I watch SpongeBob with my brother in UK, so I'm thinking that it makes sense that I added that to my search result.
So it's even funny. So I was at the center with one guy, and we were watching a YouTube video on the projector, and they started sending him and the YouTube ads. They were sending him children's ads, like and he was laughing that he doesn't know why they are showing him these ads. And I told him that you know what I've been watching on YouTube. Don't come here and start saying that you don't know why they are sending you these ads. Because if you're not watching similar content, they wouldn't send you those ads. Because I know specifically that my ads these days on YouTube are either fishes, a 3D printer, or these make money online people, Ghana music videos. These are like 4 of the major things I get as what's the name, as advertisements on YouTube. And it's because of the kind of content I've been consuming over some time. So you realize that they intentionally tailor what you see based on a footprint you've left. So if you are someone who is into conspiracy theories, they'll feed you more with conspiracy theories, and you end up being in a rabbit hole saying that the earth is flat. Anyway, so I implore that everyone should watch it. Silas, I've spoken to Silas about it, and for me, it's key that we understand, and it doesn't mean that, you see, for me, I don't know if anyone follows me on social media. I've reduced my people's exposure to me on social media a lot for this particular reason, because you may not know who exactly is watching, and you may not know how whatever you say is affecting other people. Like for example, I was on Twitter today and I saw a very nice TikTok of a young lady lip singing to Lady Gaga and Beyonce's telephone song. And the guys, like, it's a very beautiful video and I liked it. But then the guy's caption was sexualizing the lady, or there's a word for it that doesn't seem to come into my head.
Just by seeing the video, the guy was sexualizing her.
No, the caption. He said something. I don't want to mention it here. He said something about her breasts. That
he was body shaming her.
Not necessarily body shaming her. He was what's it when you there's a word for sexually harassing somebody with your words. It starts with S. Why doesn't this come to mind? subject. No, not subject to.
I don't think I don't think I didn't get what you're trying to mention.
Is it subject to? No. The word doesn't come to mind. But then he was. What he said was wrong, and for me, it was something that I didn't want to share. So I quickly unliked the video because of that. Because I feel, even though the world is trying about opinions, if there's something you don't want to be seen, don't talk about it on social media. That's the easiest way to actually get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like, for example, this recent Dr. UN thing, I hate that I'm come to use this as an example. Every sphere of it is wrong, and the media attention that they are giving this man is wrong. And the more you give him media attention, the more you are creating publicity. And someone like him, all publicity is good publicity. There's nothing like negative publicity. The more you put him out there, the more he gets happy, and which shouldn't be the case. So you just be silent. But then I like Ghanaians. After next month, you'll be off. We don't nowadays we don't slack about it. Cry. After next month, Pam, the young man is off. So I know. So Social Dilemma, please make sure you actually watch it. I don't know however you get it, but it's on Netflix and it's worth it. And some of you don't use Netflix, but you might need to get shows. So however you get it, just make sure you do. Anyway,
so I'm seeing an interesting review from a writer from The Verge, actually, like,
okay,
sort of breaks down
how they spoke to ex employees, so not like and researchers and lecturers and things. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. So basically, he was talking about how, like, apparently he came across a newsletter in 2017, where sort of gave him the realization of how, like, social networks have like a serious impact on like modern life, and that needs to be taken seriously. So his thinking was more or less influenced by, as you rightly said, interviews with some people in the movie industry, researchers and all that, where there's also dramatized segments of that basically include like a fictional trio of sociopaths working inside an unnamed social networks designed basically push notifications to distract users. And then the funny thing is that he actually gives so it was more or less like an experiment thought over here. So then they show an English family struggling to get their children to put their phones away during dinner. And then the ominous piano score that pervades every scene, rather than ratcheting up the tension, gives it all the feeling of calm. This one was to reimagine Disney's Let's As a Drag Show. It would basically start with where like the social dilemma leaves off. Well, like, you're basically influencing people's psychology, and then you're making people behave in specific ways. And if you listen to previous episodes of the podcast, we have discussed this before, where an example is the Cambridge Analytica, where people leverage social media to actually influence, should I say, a country's democracy. To the extent that based on the things you see on social media, that would influence you to vote for Party A as opposed to Party B, which is really alarming, because anyone who basically controls your mind literally controls you. And the mere fact that right now we don't really have a grip on the information we consume and all that, because all these things do are also monopolized. For example, Google. So if Google says we are putting up, let's say, Trump-related results. So anytime you search for Trump, you only see good things about Trump.
Exactly.
Or if you search for Nanado, you see only good things about Nanado. I mean, that's not to say
you see Papa no.
That's not to say, I mean, these governments haven't done good things. They have. But then the mere fact that you don't display, the mere fact that like your search results are actually influenced by a particular agenda of these social parties, I say these social parties, these political parties that influence your vote, speaks a lot to how like you could be influenced. Because right now we are in an age where we consume so much information, where we actually rely on the content to consume to actually make decisions.
Exactly.
And if someone is actually sort of if someone's actually puppeteering the information you're getting, then you're basically all puppets, like being controlled by a master or something, which is very alarming.
It is very, very alarming. It is. And for me, this whole conversation because I saw something that's disturbing. So on my Windows, when I clicked on the start button, was it start or search? Search. It's even here. When you click on search, what do you see on your toolbar?
I click on search.
Yeah.
I see type here to search. I mean, I don't actually use it, but I see.
No, just click on it. Do you see what's happening? Are you registered to vote?
No, I actually don't see that.
I actually see that here. I registered to vote. Check your status and deadlines. But then my location is Africa, Ghana. But I don't know why it's showing me the US elections that am I registered to vote? And I'm sure this is because it's a technology from their side and not really a native technology from our side. So so far as we have to use these things, we have to at least make do. But then we also have to think about creating our own native what's the name? Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because I think it's something I've seen on Snapchat though, where like they're encouraging people to actually vote. And
because my country or region is Ghana. So I don't know why they're showing me that.
I mean, like, given that, like as you rightly said, technology belongs to them, so that makes sense that having that. But interesting enough, Snapchat sort of registered about 400,000 people in the US to vote. So in a sense, it's a good feature. But then the mere fact that like not everyone is in the US, so there are some certain things you definitely shouldn't see within your timeline or your interaction with the app.
Exactly.
But then again, it speaks to the fact that like the US controls most of the technology the world consumes, so whatever happens, it affects us globally.
Exactly, and it's crazy. Anyway, so Oracle, but did they actually buy TikTok?
I mean, yes,
technically they did.
Yeah, technically they did.
But then since
but the deal in my opinion is more or less like a chaotic.
Yeah. Well, do you know the details of the deal?
Yeah, so wait, let me pull that up. Yes. So basically TikTok signed a deal with Oracle amidst Trump's concerns about how data is being transferred from the US to China. And so they had to either give in to a local operator or stop or will be banned in the US. So it was basically a bid. So it was more or less like Oracle was being auctioned to the tech companies in the US to be bought. But I'm actually not exactly seeing the price point for how much they got. Okay, so they're saying, so technically speaking, they're saying Oracle didn't buy TikTok. Instead, the company will handle TikTok's cloud operations. So they're basically using Oracle's cloud technology to help it run in the US.
So they became a customer of Oracle.
Yeah, basically that's it.
So that it doesn't route through China.
Yeah, because there are concerns that because TikTok has data centers also sitting in China, so it means that even if the data isn't directly sitting in China, one way or the other, you'd have like US consumer data sitting in China. So basically, that becomes a threat for the US. But then having Oracle being the caretaker of TikTok means that we have a certainty that data stays in the US. But funny enough, Oracle, I don't know if this seems to be Oracle's first enterprise customer.
Yeah, apparently I heard that that's their first customer. So they signed. So all Oracle did was they basically signed their first customer. But I think this is smarter than Microsoft. I think Microsoft was going to buy them outright or so.
Yeah,
But this
Microsoft
one,
was going to buy them out, which for me, I don't know how that would have worked, but from a technological standpoint, I think it would have made perfect business sense for Microsoft in the sense that they could have rolled it out to um, products like the Microsoft Surface Studio and all that. So, like, I think this assumption, though, they would have given creators like more opportunity to they would have given like more creative tools to creators on TikTok to like further
no,
like
but then
enhance.
creators already have a lot of tools on TikTok because some
Oh
of them
yeah,
don't
but
even use TikTok to edit their videos.
yeah, that's true. That's
Yes,
true.
so they
But
didn't really have that challenge.
yeah, but always I feel like these tech companies always would find means to like integrate themselves into their product. So an example is after Facebook bought
The
WhatsApp and
super, yeah.
Instagram. You
It's
now
either we
see
buy you or kill you.
Instagram by Facebook, WhatsApp by Facebook, where like
Yeah, yeah.
right now you can share WhatsApp stories. Yeah, did I say stories?
Yeah, WhatsApp
Yeah, what?
status straight
Yeah, WhatsApp
to
status
Facebook
to
stories.
Facebook, and then you can share your Instagram stories to Facebook as well. So anytime someone buys these companies, like you'd obviously integrate yourself into it. But then Oracle is sort of better suited for it because Oracle doesn't really deal in consumer technology. Theirs
Mm-hmm.
has to do with more enterprise level applications. So we wouldn't have to worry about the fact that Oracle would sort of like monopolize TikTok to say like only Oracle consumers get access to TikTok. But then they are just saying as try to say a database for TikTok just amidst US concerns. But that doesn't mean that like other countries are safe. This is
Mm-hmm.
just related to the US, given their concerns about how China might use that against them. So a country like Ghana, I don't know where our data is sitting right now, but probably in the US being used for some
Oh,
study or investigation.
a lot of things. A lot of that. I did at the TT baby as someone.
And from I think one of the cybersecurity researchers
Mm-hmm.
actually sort of listed out the info TikTok gets. So they get access to like your phone contacts, your phone gallery, um, and also things like your even like audio calls. You're able to like sort of tap into like actually hear whatever you're saying and then be able to read text messages sent across different apps. So they're basically
Mm.
having access to everything that's on your phone. And that's why like the US is very
Just
much
because you
concerned
want to
about that.
dance to I'm a Savage. Ah, classic bougie. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's cute.
Actually, it's serious. But Apple, I don't know. Funny enough, on iOS 14, Apple actually gives you like a sort of snapshot of all the data points that like
Mm-hmm.
any application you're downloading could take from you. So I think in Facebook's we're in the second quarter. Now we're in the last quarter of the year. So
Yeah, in the
uh,
last quarter.
yeah, so then the second quarter of the year, Facebook actually released a report saying that the new iOS update will actually um, reduce their revenue from Apple devices, and that's because right now for any application you download, Apple will ask you if you are willing to share your data or not with whatever application, and then they actually show you things like would you want to give it access to your photos or your contacts and all that. And
Mm-hmm.
usually most people will usually say no, and that is Facebook's like main business model where they basically leverage that to sort of support their advertisement models.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see, so like things
But
like
I'm sure they'll change their strategy and their algorithms to what's the name to suit the what's happening now.
yeah, I mean, they'll probably innovate. If they don't innovate, Apple's privacy concerns might actually cause them to lose a lot. But with the Android market, I don't think that will happen though.
Oh no, I doubt. I doubt. Android, because Android is open source too. It reduces their influence.
Yeah, it reduces the influence, but it doesn't
Yeah.
reduce like how unless like they probably release a software update that would sort of reduce the data access they get to your phone. So in
Mm,
iOS 14, you are specifically asked if you want to share your data. And for me, most applications, I usually say yes. I usually say no.
mm.
I don't know
Speaking
about you.
of iOS devices, Apple had a recent event,
Hey, for the Apple
and
fanboys.
unfortunately, there was no iPhone this year.
I mean, the year hasn't ended.
I mean, I doubt though it doesn't make financial sense to release an iPhone this year because I'm
Yeah,
sure Samsung would take a hit or other companies would take a hit. Or you don't think so?
I mean, I think they would. I mean, I think they would still release one because they usually make announcements either in September or October. Because I think iPhone 10 came out in October, 10X Max and all that came out around the same time. So
Because
I probably think they would release one. But as to whether people would actually patronize the new iPhone,
mhm.
it's some doubtful of.
So they released the new Apple Watch Series 6 that has blood oxygen level detector. And we also have the Apple Watch SE, which looks like something that I can get because it's cheap. And we
Me
have the
too.
new 8th generation iPad. And we have the new iPad Air, which is actually a slight step down from the iPad Pro. And I don't understand why they made the iPad Air better and more expensive than the regular iPad. Because the regular iPad is crap. The
Yeah, I
regular
mean,
iPad is now like the iPad Air. It's like at the
yeah,
position the iPad Air was. And also too, there's a Fitness Plus workouts service and the whole subscription model service that a lot of organizations and even creators online are starting to adopt because it's actually a consistent assured revenue stream that needs zero overhead and the transaction time is yeah. And also too we have the Apple One service bundles, which is actually something Silas was interested in. So Sir, what was your favorite
and
product? Mine was the Apple Watch SE.
okay, I think I like everything, but I think for me, one thing I really my highlight was the service model. Yeah, Apple introduced this year with Apple One, where like they sort of bundled all the services that they have into like basically one subscription plan, which for me really makes sense because I feel like some of the Apple apps are very good. Like something like Apple Arcade, which allows you to like utilize your 8 or bionic chip. That's if you're using a 10 Max or a 10 or 10S, you're able to play like high level or almost console level like games on your Apple device. And it's not just your iPhone, your iPad as well, or your MacBook too. And the mere fact that you're able to get access to Apple TV, Apple Music, Apple Arcade, and even iCloud storage, all for around, I think for the family package, around like 19
Individual is
to
$15. Family packing
yeah.
is $19.95. And
Which from
Premier
my pocket standpoint, how my pocket is, it makes so much sense. Like I feel like I can really afford.
what's cow? Afford it
Nah,
alone
no, no,
or
no, no, no. I don't know. No. Oh, I mean, like the family
ah
standpoint is there. The family one makes sense because I'm not the only one going to pay. My family members will also
Hey,
contribute to
so
it.
it's 120 cedis amount though for the family.
Yeah.
So divided by 6.
I mean the current dollar rate. So if I think Apple Family Max is 6 members. So
Yeah.
120 divided by 6, everyone should pay like roughly 20 Ghana.
Yeah.
That's
My
if
family
there's
members, everyone pay 25 cedis.
of the some of them might listen to this podcast, right?
Yeah, I don't care. Because it's that you pay 25 cedis or 120 cedis. No, it's that you pay 25 cedis or 90 cedis. So the choice is yours. 25 or 90. I mean, because the good thing about family is that even if no matter how overpriced it may seem, it's relatively still cheaper than the individual bundle cost.
Yeah, way cheaper than that. And
I mean, I'm the service provider, so my overhead has to be cleared. And
so you spread out for your family members to pay.
exactly, I spread it. I'm the. You see, it's like what's the name? Facebook. It's like these platforms. So they've given you the platform. They are on it to work. They are not on it to play or use it. So me, it's my work. I need to make sure that the system is working. So once a while I'll play a song, I'll watch a movie, but then it's just for work. It's just for work and research purposes. Anyway.
But I mean, aside
Mhm.
that, what was yours? Oh, you mentioned the Series 6. What about it? Do you like?
No, I'm talking about the Apple Watch SE. It's
Oh,
cheap.
yeah, Apple Watch SE.
Yeah.
Okay. But I
The
don't get
Series 6
black
is the
oxygen and all that.
the blood oxygen level. Apparently, it uses a couple of sensors. Let's see
But
if I can.
SE is almost like a Series 3. Just
No,
that.
it's just like a Series 3. So what Apple does is that they bring older ones back and they rebrand it. That's all. I'm sure they didn't. They just changed the box, the packaging. That's all they did.
But I think this one has a new what do you call it? You now have I know
No, the
since I think
SC has the older chip, but then it's the Series 6 that has a newer
oh no,
chip.
the SE has a new chip, the S5
Is it
no,
a
that S5 processor or something.
uh,
That's what they have. But
okay,
I
the
mean, if I'm
Apple said that the chip inside the Series 6 is the SS, which is 20% faster than its predecessor. It's a which is faster than its predecessor and is based on a processor in the iPhone 11. Yeah, that's crazy.
so it's just faster than the Series 5.
Yeah, yeah. But when would they start making round watches?
Yeah, I mean, I was watching NKBG's video and he was also asking the same thing. As like why Apple hasn't done that because I think Samsung watches are all round watches, right?
Yeah,
So I
except the
mean,
fitness
Apple's
bands.
design still looks dope.
It's unique though. That one I have to give it to them. It is unique, but I said that it's not what you are used to.
But then, given the stories people always tell about the Apple Watch, it has always been a game changer for like
Yes.
health related things.
Well, it used to be Samsung, but
It
then
used to be
it,
Samsung.
yeah.
Like for instance, when I think when the iOS 14 was released, people, Android users on Twitter, like on my timeline, don't really understand why like Apple users are actually excited about like the mere fact that now you get the option to edit your
Widgets.
widgets on
Yes.
the
Why are you excited about that?
yeah,
Hmm?
for me it's pretty
We are in
dope. I don't know if you've
2020.
seen there's currently a thread about people's like should I see uh the design inspirations for their home screen. And it's pretty dope with the color scheme and then the different pictures they use for app icons and all that. It's very nice. And I feel like Apple did it better than Android, in my opinion.
Hey,
No
this
shade
table you
to
are shaking.
No shade. No
This
shade
way
to
are shaking.
no shade to Android, to be
No,
honest. It looks better.
Android is more functionality. What do you say? I think are there widgets on iPad too?
Yeah. We're just on iPad.
Are you activating the same?
You have to like swipe to the last screen.
I'm there and edit.
No, okay, you just search for widgets.
I think I've seen something.
But like on
But I want it to appear on the on my apps. How do I do that?
I think with I'm not exactly sure how on the iPad. It, oh, hmm, sorry, it's just like here.
No,
Um,
my,
oh,
my future wife.
hey, is that another one? Anyways, oh, because with iPad, hey, with iOS 14, you have to like long tap your home screen. So obviously, so over here, I long tap, my screen shakes. Then I go to this right hand corner and then click the add button, and then I get access to other widgets. So
iPad
that's
is
how it
not like
works
that.
on iOS 14.
iPad is not like that.
So long press your home screen and see.
It just shakes. That's all. And there's no other button on the left. On the right, it's just done.
Oh, there should be widgets there.
But the widget is at the last. At the last. So as in
Yeah. Yeah, I see. So then you should probably be able to add the widgets from there.
yeah, I want to add it to the home. I need to look like an Android.
Alex, are you saying that Apple widgets are Android widgets?
I mean, it took you 10 years to look like Android, so don't come and behave as if you guys have done something new. Have you?
But yeah, tell us you are not using an Apple device.
I also use an Android device.
Yeah, but I feel like Apple did it better. Apple just, even though like I feel like it's not about who did it first, but who made it better. An example is the
Mooney.
listen, example is the way Google Pixel was throwing shades at Apple for doing this, doing that. And then right now, you tend to realize that even though Pixel camera photography is like very dope, Apple introduced HDR Plus and other like camera updates that just made their camera better. And right now, literally, the Pixel is dying out. Like the only feature people like about the Pixel right now, in my opinion, is like the camera. But right now, the camera, even Samsung has also up their camera game. I think this is for Verizon. OnePlus are also making dope cameras, so
Yeah.
we less money and all that. But then Apple's one is the best, because if you just go to social media and do hashtag iPhone photography, like you can see the awesome pictures people are taking. That's a testament of the fact that like, Apple is doing very well as compared to Android users. And funny enough, Pixel photography is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, even remember, I don't know if I can say this on the podcast, but I remember when you had the iPhone 7. You remember the dope pictures you used to take with, even like for short videos and all that.
Yeah, gone are the days, man.
So you just have to admit the fact that Apple makes good products. Apple just makes good products. And for the new releases, the one thing I also like was the iPad Air. Like the mere fact that it's almost like an iPad Pro.
But you know the price? Someone was
Stop.
looking at the prices that if you were to buy one that you can actually use, it's about $1,000.
On but I think it starts at 599. So
It starts at $699, but that's for the 64 gig. And if you want to buy Wi-Fi plus cellular, you are looking at $800. Then you may want to get the Apple Pencil and you want to get the keys. You are looking at upwards of $1,000.
oh yeah.
It's a smart way to chop on our money.
Yeah, I mean, Apple is very good in making. Should I say forcing consumers to like get accessories?
And right now, the Apple Watches don't ship with a break.
Yeah, because they're trying to go carbon neutral or carbon
They're
free.
trying to sell you more. But then no one uses it anyway, so.
Yeah, I mean, because there's options that if you have an iPhone and then you get an Apple Watch, you already have the break.
Exactly.
So you don't exactly need to. And eventually, when you actually buy it, you find yourself actually using just one.
Yeah.
Because whatever you use, I mean, right now, I think if it's not Type C, I mean, they're all Thunderbolt ports. But then, whatever you use to charge your iPhone, the same you use to charge your Apple Watch as well. I mean, the iPad is Type C, so that's a bit different. Yeah. Whatever you use for your phone, the same you use for your iPad. Just that for people who don't use iPhones but have Apple Watches, that's the tricky part for them because. I mean,
how did they manage to use it?
I mean, okay, before this release, you already had the charger brick and all that, and then you basically pair with.
No, I'm talking about using an Apple Watch with an Android phone.
Oh, I actually haven't come across anyone like that.
I don't know what you said, or I missed it.
No, I'm saying that there are some people who basically buy. So, like, I can buy an Apple Watch for my family member and then set it up. So it's not like I'm the one directly using it. That's why right now Apple introduced a family package where like, because there's a trend where like, especially with elderly people, where giving the health benefits that like people derive from Apple Watch.
So you can actually use the Apple Watch as a standalone.
Yeah, as a standalone.
For your children, if you don't want to buy them a phone, but then an Apple Watch, you can get it for them.
But then it's all tied to one device.
Account.
Yeah. So enables them to do all that check. But Apple's really doing one that ecosystem.
They are doing wonderful, but I don't like them. That's all the time we have for the Self-Taught Novice podcast. And we said so much. Yeah, I think that's all, Salah. That's all from me.
Yeah, that's all from me too. I don't know if you add anything.
No, I have nothing to add. So if you leave us a review on whatever platform, if you have any suggestions, just let us know as usual. And see you in the next one. That's all from us. Goodbye.